Hi, my name is Frank. Welcome to Vinyl Dens on channel 33 RPM, where we check out cool music rooms from across the vinyl community and across the globe. There's some really amazing rooms in today's video, dear 33ers. So I urge you to sit back, relax, and enjoy. Okay, well, my glasses come off for this one. The first submission comes from Nick. He's 36 years old. He's been collecting vinyl for 6 years. He's been in the U.S. Navy for 16 years, and he's currently stationed in Japan. He talks about getting his gear primarily from a place called Bottlehead. They specialized in vacuum tube-based amplifier, preamp, and headphone amplifier kits. He says currently in the main system is a Bottlehead Eros phono preamp, a Bottlehead preamplifier, and a Bottlehead power amp, and the speakers are also Bottleheads, and the system works really well together. His main turntable is a Project 2 Experience with an Ortofon 2M black cartridge. I'd love to try out the black. He has a second turntable as well, a Music Hall. He's got a Marantz CD 6006 CD player, great CD player, and Marantz headphone amplifier. Let's just dig into this. I don't even know where to start. I mean, those turntables even really look amazing. Let's check out some of these other ones. But those speakers, like this whole setup just looks so beautiful. I love the Pink Floyd flag. Yeah, that is really cool. Now, he sent a second email as well. What's he saying here? He says he's had a few new additions. He upgraded his main turntable to a VPI Prime Signature Rosewood. Okay, look at this turntable. Like, this thing is a thing of beauty. Like, look at the finish on that. That is a beautiful upgrade, Nick. I'm obviously very envious of the setup, Nick. You have done a fantastic job. And I am going to have to check out, what was it called again? Bottlehead. They specialize in vacuum tube-based stuff. And it's all put together through kits. That's definitely worth exploring. Cheers, Nick. Love it. Okay, this next one comes from Russ Robinson, who I've got to know lately because he has a podcast called the Infectious Groove Podcast, and occasionally on Fridays he also posts some live streams of music. Anyway, what do we know about Russ? He lives just outside of Detroit, and his entire basement is dedicated to music, and he's named it the 33 1/3 Music Appreciation Center and Speakeasy. I dig that. Again, he notes every Friday he has what he calls music night. He has friends and family over, and they listen to tunes and spin records. The pics I attached include my record bins, which started with a donation from a local record store, which moved. They didn't have room for one of their tables, so I gave it a new home after 50 years of selling music. When my collection expands, we just measure that table and make a new one. Okay, well, let's dive into some of these. Are those actual 45s on the wall, or is that just some kind of wallpaper? It's kind of hard to tell from this picture. Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. Oftentimes it seems like video games and record collecting go hand in hand. I'm personally a fan of retro gaming, Atari 2600, Coleco, and the such. I love these dividers. What did he say about the dividers? Record dividers, which Russ's wife made for him. Look at all of those. So I love the idea of using the logos for dividers. So he's got a ton of that stuff. I love stuff on the walls. He's got Roger Waters. He's got some Skid Row. Top 200 albums of 1988. Can I assume you were born in 1988? I don't know. Anyway, keep it up, Russ. Love the place. Okay, guys, this next one comes from Finding Trevor. So Trevor is from Detroit, and he's 19 years old. He's currently in school and working part-time. He also shares a room with his two younger brothers. Started collecting 5 years ago. So I love hearing stories of, I was going to say younger people, 19, who are getting into collecting vinyl, because nowadays it's just so much easier to stream stuff, right? So it really takes dedication, I would say, for people who didn't grow up with physical media or records to kind of get into this. Again, this is an example of someone making the best use of their space. And I do notice I'm kind of looking at myself. He's watching a channel 33 RPM video on his laptop. Appreciate when anyone watches my vids and whatnot. Trevor, welcome to the world of collecting vinyl. And I wish you the best of luck as you continue down this journey of collecting. It's a long road, and we all start somewhere. And you're obviously well on your way to building up a decent collection and a good stereo system. Cheers, buddy. Okay, this next one comes from Stacy Nash. Stacy is also a longtime viewer of this channel. He says, hope I'm not too late sending these. As you can see, I'm a Star Wars Kiss and vinyl nut. Been collecting vinyl since I was 8. Back in 1980, so that means Stacy was born in 72. I was born in 73, so we have sort of that common background. Anyways, check out some of these photos. Like, look at that Star Wars collection. Wow. All the figures there. Cool record shelves. And again, these Star Wars figurines. Stacy, that's insane. Got the snare drum with Kiss on it. Star Wars, Kiss, and vinyl. I mean, you said it yourself. I'm sure you have tons of fun hanging out there, and someplace I would love to hang out in as well. And what do we have here? This next one comes from Mike. He's from Western New York. He's been watching this channel every week for a few years now. Mike, I appreciate that. And he says recently, last summer, he gave his man cave music room a makeover. He says the shelves are custom laminate shelving made at a kitchen countertop shop. They're all adjustable. The CD collection is at about 4,000. He also set up some IKEA Klax units for vinyl and stereo. Klax, obviously, are very popular amongst many of us collectors. He's got a DVD collection of about 700. He's got a Marantz 2270 receiver. He's got a Marantz 6100 2-speed turntable from 77. His collection, let's just get into some of these pictures. It's like this wall of CDs. I mean, I've seen some pretty massive CD collections, but I've never seen anything like this before. I wonder what kind of order they're in, because I don't see any tabs sort of indicating artists or letters, but I imagine with a collection that large, with that many CDs, there is some rhyme and reason to it. I mean, that's just mind-blowing. That's amazing. Then on the other wall, we see the records. We see the vintage gear, and of course some beer bottles. So I see you have the Fight War of Words album on the ground in a frame. I'm curious, was that the recent reissue, or was that an original pressing? Because I've been kind of debating buying or tracking down original pressing. I mean, they're about $100 or so, but I'm optimistic I will find one for a good deal at some point. Computer, and here's another guy who is watching channel 33 RPM. I love it. It's really, I'm not sure if humbling is the right word, but it's quite the unique experience to be making these videos here in the basement and just to see people all around the world watching this stuff, and I'm assuming enjoying it. So I love it. And again, I guess humbling is the right word, to see that people are actually willing to spend their time watching this stuff. It's got some King Diamond. Oh, are those the original 1970s Kiss dolls? That is very cool, man. That is very cool. Anyway, I'm absolutely loving this music room. Okay, Metal Mike 666 on Instagram. Also on YouTube, Metal Mike 666 on YouTube. And, I highly urge you to check all that stuff out. And I love this room. And that collection is mind-blowing. All right, this one is Edwin, and I've been talking with Edwin on YouTube for years now. He is a dedicated viewer of this channel, and his setup is very simple, but I'm going to tell you why I included this. He says, "Dear Frank, this is Edwin from Bronx, New York. I do not have one of the largest vinyl dens, but I do feel I have an interesting one. It is set up in my dining room, complete with an heirloom chandelier. He also uses his dining room as a sewing studio for his online neckwear shop, and listen to vinyl records. And listening to vinyl records has become a part of the creative process. And listen to this, guys. His main turntable is a Crossley. And obviously Crossleys are the butt of many jokes in the vinyl community, and they obviously don't compete with, for example, the VPI turntable we saw earlier. But if anyone has watched this channel for a long time or any period of time, I don't judge on gear. And we all start somewhere, and I did that video late last year where I bought the cheapest record player on Amazon. If you haven't checked that one out, check it out because it was a lot of fun. So really, I have a lot of respect for anyone who listens to music on whatever system, whatever works for you, which is what works for Edwin as well. Some photos here of some of his ascots, and what does he say here? He says most of the shop pieces are ascots along with bow ties and knits, and here's some of his handiwork that was inspired by the music he listens to. Anyway, Edwin, pardon me, keep it up. Thank you for watching the channel for all this time. Keep it up with your fantastic online shop, and keep spinning those tunes. All right, guys, that is this month's episode of Vinyl DENS. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you would like to be considered for a future episode of Vinyl DENS, please send me 4, 5, 6 clear photos of your music room along with a description of your collection and your gear, and tell me a little bit about yourself, including where you live and your age, and I will do my best to get that on a future episode. Dear 33ers, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I would appreciate a quick thumbs up if you did. Otherwise, I hope each and every one of you has a fantastic week. Until next time, keep on spinning.